what's up? It's Beck here, back with another video, and today I'm giving you my grand collection tour of all of my model animals and horses. I've been collecting for over 10 years. My first Schleich video I uploaded 11 years ago, so I've had a lot of time to get quite a few models. So if you're watching this, please don't compare yourself or feel jealous. I'm an adult. I spend my adult money on these things. Also, my collection's a little bit messy. I did organize it recently, but it just gets messy every time I film a new video. So for that, I apologize, but without further yapping, let's get into the tour. All right, so let's start with this top shelf right here first. So in the back, I have my Andalusians. Here are the new Andalusians for this year. Here is the mare and the stallion. And then right here are the older Andalusians. So here's the exclusive, and then here's just the regular family. And then right here is an exclusive that came with the set. And then here are some older, more retired, more older Andalusians. And this is the whole family. So there's the mare, the filly, and the stallion. And then right over here are the Camargues. So this is the whole family. We've got the mare, the foal, and the stallion. And they're so cute. I love them so much. All right, here is the Knapstrupper family. These are the retired ones. I've got the mare, the foal, which is like a suckling foal, and the stallion. Here's the newer Knapstrupper family, and there's the stallion, the foal, and the mare. I have two of the mare. And then right here is the Marawari family. Here's the stallion and the filly and the mare. And then here's the Appaloosa family. There's the mare and the foal and the stallion, or gelding actually. And then here's the thoroughbreds, I guess gray, and I think she's like a Perlino or something, or like a Cremello, but there's the mare. Sorry, this bar is like in the way. And then right here is the Andalusian stallion. Here's the saddlebreds, there's the mare and the stallion. And then right over here is the Ardennes stallion and the little foal. And then I have my Belgian mare keeping them company because I don't think there is an Ardennes mare, sadly. And then back here is the pony cart set. This is the retired one with the Palomino Shetland. She's so cute. And now we'll move on to the front of the shelf, which is mainly dogs and wolves. Here is a yellow lab, and then we've got the African hound. I think that's a golden doodle, actually. And then we've got the golden retriever family, and there's two little puppies here. And then right here is the pug family. That's the father and that's the mother. And there's the little puppies. And then here's the retired golden retriever from Schleich. This is the male. And then we have the retired German Shepherd puppy. And then here's the retired Great Danes. There's the mom and the puppy. And then here's retired yellow labs from Schleich as well, the puppy, and I think that's the mom. Wait. And then here's the retired husky family. I've got the father and the pup and the mother. And here's the retired Bernese mountain dog family. They're so pretty. And they're like pretty much brand new. I have like a new puppy back there too, like still in her packaging. And then here's the retired Dalmatian family. And then I've also got, I think, a Papo Dalmatian right here. But yeah, I got the puppies, and that's the mom and that's the dad. And then right here is the retired wolf family. There's the mom, the puppy, and the dad. And then here I have the retired St. Bernards. So there's the mom. I have two of the same puppy, and then there's the dad. And then I've also got this older St. Bernard as well. And then I've got the retired Shiba Inus. Don't know if I said that right. And then I've got the Schleich wolf, and then I've got like the wolf and her cub. I don't know where the other cub is. I have like multiple of this wolf, and then I've got the newer Schleich Dalmatians, and I've got the Schleich Chihuahuas there. So yeah, and that's this whole shelf right here. All right, so over on this shelf, I have some of my Breyer horses. I'm not gonna go through all of their names, but this is Chocolatey, the Appaloosa stallion, and this is Don't Look Twice, the mare, and he's an Appaloosa. She's a quarter horse. And then down here is Allison, the Sheltie, and then right here is Salem, and she's like a stablemate scale version of one of their Halloween models. I actually have two of her. I have one right here as well, and she has a really cool like color shift top coat or something. I don't know. Right here is Native Son, the Morgan stallion. And then here's like a little gingerbread Christmas horse. I have two of them as well. Here's Callista, the warm blood. She was an exclusive from last year. And then here's Antonia. She was a Collector Club exclusive from last year as well. This is my plushie. This is a quarter horse. I got him at the Alamo. Here is Just a Dream. She was one of my Breyer horse grails, and I'm so glad I have her. She's so cute. She's an Arabian mare. And then I have another Arabian right here, Make a Wish. She is so gorgeous. And then I have some more Christmas cookie horses. So here's a crinkle cookie one and peppermint bark. And then right here is a Lusitano named Apollo. I've got a little mini CollectA, I think a Shire, I don't know. And then here I have this quarter horse, I forget his name. And then I've got this Tennessee walking horse, her name is Stella. And then I've got this cute paint horse right here. And those are most of my Breyer horse models. I do have a couple still in their boxes that are kind of like stored away right now. So that's the entire top section of my shelves. All right, so let's move down a level. So right here is the Love Edition Pasofino, and then I've got my retired, ooh, he's gonna like fall off my shelf, oops. Okay, I've got the retired paint horse mare and this foal with her because I feel like they match really well. And then I've got this paint horse stallion, and then right here is my retired Hanoverian family. Here's the mare, the foal, and the stallion. Or actually, I think he might be a gelding. And then right over here is my retired Appaloosa family. So here's the mare, the foal, and the stallion. And then here is my Tinker family, and I think they're also going retired. Here's the stallion, the foal, and the mare. And then right over here, I've got this Hanoverian mare, and this is a gelding. They look really similar, but they're not the same horse. And then I've got this little Hanoverian foal right there. And then here is my French saddle horse family. I've got the mare, the foal, and the stallion. Here are some more Andalusians. I actually have two of this mare, and then I have two of the filly, or like the yearling as well. And I actually have two of him too. So yeah, I have doubles of all these guys. I've got this Paso foal. I don't know where to put this foal. And then right here I have this retired black what am I saying? Retired Black Forest foal and a Black Forest mare. And then here is my retired Haflinger family. They are so cute. I think you can still get the mare and the foal from certain sets, but whatever. And then right here, I've got my little Trackner family. They're so cute. There's the gelding, the foal, and the mare. And now going to the front of the shelf, I have some CollectA models as well. So I've got the CollectA Dartmoor stallion, he's kind of tippy. And then I've got this Dartmoor mare and her foal. And then I've got another CollectA Dartmoor stallion, this time in like a bay. And then I've got these two German riding ponies, the gelding and the mare. And then right here is my little retired Dartmoor family. So I've got the stallion, the foal, and the mare. And then here are some Icelandics. I've got an Icelandic foal and mare. Her breed temporarily escaped my memory. And then I've got these Falabellas. They are so cute. I've got this exclusive. And then I've got this retired gelding and foal. And then I've got a bunch of WIA bowing horses. So this is the original Vincenzo, and then I've got a Perlino version, a blue version, and a pink version. And then I've got some more Falabellas right here. So here's the retired gelding, the filly, and the mare. And then right here are my miniature Shetlands. They are so cute. Here's the mare and the foal, and that's the stallion. And then I've got this pony, I forget its breed. I got another Shetland foal right here, and then I've got these two exclusive Shetlands. They're so cute. There's the gelding and the foal. And then I've got this Palomino Shetland mare, and then I've got my retired Shetland family right here, the mare, the foal, and the gelding. So moving on to the other side of the shelf. Back there, I have a new in-box Tennessee walking horse stallion. He's an exclusive color or whatever, I don't really know. And then right up here, I have a Soria Mustang, and then I've got the Pinto variant from the rodeo set. And then here is the Percheron mare from last year that came out. She's so cute. And then I've got an exclusive horse that you really can't see, but she's a Holstein mare and she's silver. And then right here, I've got the exclusive Mustang stallion, and then the Mustang foal and mare from the barn set. And then I've got another Mustang stallion and another Mustang foal and mare. And I don't really know if this is supposed to be like the family, but I just put them together. I think they look cute together. I don't know. I've got some CollectA Fjords. So here's a Girllllll I think, or like a silver dun gelding. and then a Girllllll full, and then I've got a dun gelding and a dun full. I don't have any CollectA fjord mares, unfortunately. This is my Schleich fjord family from last year. I don't have the exclusive full that I think is supposed to go with them, so I just put this bunny here as like a placeholder. And then I've got this Mojo fjord just chilling. And then I've got the retired fjords. I am so proud of this little family. I love it so much. Here's the stallion, the foal, and the mare. And then right here, I have my little Welsh pony family, but they don't have a foal, so yeah, it's sad. And then I've got this exclusive Lipizzaner. Then I've got my Holsteiner family, so here's the mare and the foal and the stallion. He's a gelding, never mind. And then I've got my little Arabian family. The Arabian mare doesn't stand up like the one from last year, so I don't know where I put her, but I have this one instead with the foal because I love this foal, and I put her with this exclusive Arabian because it's like, you know what, he's cute, they look good together. And then back here I have this random Pegasus, and then I've got another, I think, Dartmoor mare? I don't know. And then I've got this little pony, I forget what breed she is. I've got this trained pony here, and then I've got a CollectA warm blood or something, I don't know. And then I've got this retired Camargue back here, and then here's my retired Arabian family. The person that had this model before like put markings on him, so just ignore that. I haven't even tried getting them off, but here's my retired Lipizzaner family. Here's the stallion and the foal and the mare. And then here's the Andalusian mare from the Horse Club riding set. I think this is like Sophia's Horse Blossom. And then I've got some WIA Arabian mares. They are so gorgeous. This is the bloody shoulder one, and this is the chestnut. And then I've got a CollectA rearing Arabian stallion. This is the CollectA Mangalarga Machador. And then here is the CollectA Norica mare. She's so cute. And then I've got some Lusitanos from Schleich. So this is the exclusive version, and this is the regular. And I have two of this guy. And then I've got the Lusitano mares. And then I've got this Akelteki stallion. And then I've got a CollectA Akelteki mare. She's actually like missing a pupil. I don't know if you can see. And then I've got a CollectA Gypsy Vanna mare. So here is the full second level, guys. All right, moving on to the third level. All right, so this shelf is kind of messy from filming, so just ignore that. It was from Racing Hearts mainly. But anyways, here's my CollectA Knabstrupper mare. And then this is the Lusitano stallion and the Tennessee Walking Horse mare, I believe. And then I've got this little American spotted donkey. And then I've got this like oops, I almost dropped my phone. I've got this braidable mane horse. And then here's the 90 Years Edition Andalusian stallion. Here are the Appaloosas from the dog set. Here's the mare and the foal. And then I've got this CollectA British Spotted Pony mare. And then here's the Frisian from the set with a little stall and the rider. And then here's the retired Tennessee Walking Horse stallion. And this is the mare from the Pepper Street Riding Arena set. I use her as a thoroughbred in my series. And then right here is a Hanoverian mare and another one that I was using for filming. She's like a double that I have, and her leg is kind of warped, so. And I just got a rider there. And then here's a WIA Lancelot. He's very cute. And then I've got Ranger. I keep forgetting what breed he is. It's like a type of Andalusian, but there's Ducati, the Frisian stallion. And then here's the Arabian mare from the Sarin Mystery set. And then I've got a Breyer horse down here as well. He's like really long, like crazy long, but his name is Maddox. He's so pretty. And yeah. And then I've got a bunch of people and some animals down here. So this is the golden rabbit. This is the collie for this year and the corgi. And the wolf cub and wolf. Actually, these are all from this year. And then I've got this little collie or Sheltie or whatever, and this border collie and this little puppy. And then I've got some accessories and people, so. All right, so on this side of the shelf, starting at the back, I have this Tragner mare. She's so cute. And then I've got this rearing Warlander mare. This is a CollectA model. And I've got the silver dapple mare. I've got the white Icelandic mare, and this is the Lipizzaner gelding from the horse carriage set. And then I've got this retired Knabstrupper mare and foal, and that's to keep the foal's legs from like pressing together because they were kind of warped from being in storage. So here's the Pinto Lancelot from WIA. He is so gorgeous. And then this is a retired Percheron mare and retired Percheron stallion. And then here's another WIA little conga. I have the leopard Appaloosa and the original Dark Bay. And then I have a green version and he looks like a giant gummy bear. And then I have, I don't know if this is like the Girllllll or the Silverdun or what, but I have another CollectA Fjord. He is supposed to be different than this one, but I think they look the same. I've got a random bull. I don't know why he's there. He's not supposed to be there. I've got this Noriker stallion and I've got this Hanoverian mare. She is a CollectA model. And then here I've got my Arabians from last year. She doesn't really stand properly, so I put all of my Tippy models right next to each other so that like they're not gonna take out the entire shelf at once. There's the Arabian stallion, the mare, and then this is the Camarillo mare. And then I've got the Paso stallion. Oh wait, I think that's who the foal was supposed to go with. And then I've got my retired Icelandic stallion and this little like Icelandic foal back here. I have like 2 or 3 of this foal, I don't know why. And then I have this retired Icelandic mare back there. And then I've got that chestnut Hanoverian and that curly mare hiding in the back. So I'm sorry, I almost knocked over Maddox. Sorry, sir. And then in the front of the row, I have this like really old retired Appaloosa stallion. I've got this Halflinger mare. I've got the little Akalteki family, the mare, the foal, and the stallion. And then like hiding right in here, I think is a Paso foal. Right here is my retired quarter horse stallion, and then this is my little gang of Halflingers. So I have this retired Halflinger mare and foal, and then I've got this newer Halflinger mare and another retired one, and then I've got this husky. I've got 2 of these Cocker Spaniels. I've got a white-haired Dachshund, a chocolate lab, and a chocolate lab puppy. This puppy is retired. Oh, there's the wolf cub that I was looking for. Well, yeah, that's that wolf cub. And then I've got a WIA collie. It's really cute. And then I've got this Rhodesian Ridgeback. I've got a German Shepherd. I've got these retired birds. So I've got a rooster, a duck, and a hen. And then I've got this really cute cat. I think it's a British Shorthair, but I forget. And then right here is a Border Collie, another Husky, and this is the Old English Sheepdog. I've got this Lipizzaner mare in foal, and the foal I know for sure is retired. And then I've got this Arabian mare, and hiding behind this pole is another Mustang. I have a few of this one. And then right here I have this really pretty like buttermilk buckskin Hanoverian. I don't know, I think it's like the Washthal exclusive. And then I've got another Lipizzaner and this Arabian foal that's retired. I've got this gray Hanoverian and this exclusive bay Trackner mare. All right guys, so that is the 3rd level. This is like so much talking, oh my gosh. I'm gonna like lose my voice. All right, so moving down to the 4th level, we'll start at the back as usual. So right here is my retired Trackner mare and foal. And then here is my Rodeo Appaloosa stallion. And then this is another retired Trackner mare and foal. These are exclusives. And then I've got an exclusive Trackner stallion. Here's the heavy draft horse, he's retired. And then I've got my little Oldenburger family. I've got the mare, the foal, and the stallion. And then right here is my retired Hanoverian family. There's the stallion, the foal, and the mare. And then over here is my Clydesdale family. There's the mare, the foal, and the stallion. I've got this little loner, this paint horse mare. And then here is another Appaloosa family. I've got the mare, the foal, and I put this exclusive stallion with them, but I don't really think he matches well, but whatever. And then I've got another Appaloosa family, the mare and the foal, and the stallion. These guys are from a set together, and like they're so pretty. I love them. And then I've got this exclusive Knobstrupper stallion. I feel like he would look so good with these guys, but he isn't an Appaloosa, so whatever. And then right here is a Tennessee Walking Horse stallion, and I put him together with this retired foal and the Tennessee Walking Horse mare. I've got this exclusive bay Tennessee Walking Horse stallion, and I put him with the 2 horses from the Lakeside Riding Center. So he's with the mare and the foal. And okay, so moving on. All right, so over here I have a ton of quarter horses, and I kind of just put them together with who I thought they looked good with. So I've got this exclusive stallion. He is so pretty. And then I've got the Palomino stallion, the gray mare, whatever color this is, I don't know. Because she doesn't have a dorsal stripe, so would that make her like just a brown? I don't know. And then I've got a dark brown quarter horse mare, and then I've got this little bay foal, and this Palomino stallion. He's really cute. And I've got this chestnut mare and chestnut foal, and this like buttermilk buckskin stallion. And look at them all. Here is the retired paint horse mare and the exclusive retired paint horse mare. And then I've got even older retired paint horses. So here I have a little family of a mare, a yearling, and a stallion. They are so cute together. I've got the newer paints. So here's the mare, the foal, and the stallion. And then I've got this little Arabian family right here. There's the mare, the foal, and the stallion. And then I've got some more Arabian mares. I love this mold so much. But anyways, I've got these two mares right here. They're both exclusives. And this exclusive foal. And then I've got this white one right here. And I have a few of her, as you can see. And right here, I have some more Tennessee walking horses. So I have this black stallion and this pinto bay mare. And then I've got this chestnut bay, or what am I saying? I've got this chestnut pinto mare. And then I've got this random Paso foal. And I don't know, is this a Paso mare? But whatever, they're just chilling there. All right, moving on to the other side of the shelf. So back there is the pony cart set. Oh yeah, it's the Connemara pony. But yeah, that's the Connemara, the gray one. And then I have the other one as well. And then there's a Papo wolf. I think that's a Mojo cub. And I've got a random deer. And then there's the CollectA Gypsy Vanner stallion, or maybe it's Tinker, I don't know. And then I've got a CollectA Icelandic stallion. And then here I've got a Frisian mare. I have like a few of her. And then I've got this retired quarter horse stallion and the playful foal. And then I've got the new mule from this year. And I've got the chestnut, the red mare. And then I've got this bay tractor mare. I think she's a tractor. And then I've got this pinto Mangalaga Machader stallion. And then I've got this retired exclusive paint horse stallion. Here's my retired Tinker family. There's the stallion, the foal, and the mare. And then I've got this Frisian mare and this retired Frisian stallion. And then I've got this gray exclusive Hanoverian mare. And then this foal, I think it's a Hanoverian foal, I don't know. And then I've got this pinto Arabian stallion. And then I've got this, I think, Mojo Arabian stallion. And then I've got a CollectA Frisian stallion. This, I think, is the Shire stallion. And then I've got the Black Forest mare, this thoroughbred filly, and this thoroughbred mare. All right, right here is my retired Frisian family. I love these models so much. They're so pretty. But here's the stallion, the foal, and the mare. And then right here is the Black Holsteiner mare. She is an exclusive. And then I have the Black Hanoverian stallion. Sorry for any background noise, there's like a lot going on today. And then right here I have my black exclusive Tinker mare. She is so pretty. And then I've got this CollectA Black Forest stallion. And then right here I've got this, I think it's a Pasofino mare, I don't know. Is it the Cubano Paso whatever? Probably. And then I've got this Pasofino stallion. And then here is Chili the quarter horse from the Horse Club sets. And then here is the retired, I want to say Shire, but it could be Clydesdale. And then here's the gelding as well. And then here is the Frisian foal and the Frisian stallion from last year. I believe this is a quarter horse. He came with the horse transporter set, I think. And then I've got this little Welsh mare. And then I've got these two Icelandic mares and these Icelandic stallions. This is the advent calendar one. And then right here, I've got a Holsteiner mare that came with a wash set. She is so pretty. I love her coat color so much. And then I've got some Hanoverians over here. Here's the Hanoverian gelding and foal, and there's the mare. And then I've got this random Mojo Golden Retriever puppy, I think. Here's the repaint that I was working on. I have not worked on him in months. So hopefully I'll finish him soon. That's the CollectA Morgan. And then I've got some random animals back here from, I think, Mojo. So yeah, that is this entire level. So let's move on. Okay, so we're like at ground level and I don't have a lot on these shelves. They're kind of messy, but I got some new stuff from sets, so. Oh, there's Uncle Hank. And then here's a bunch of doubles. I have multiples of these models. And then I have a box of like random animals in there, cats and stuff, and cows. Here's just a little overview of my collection. I've got more stuff in my closet as well because it takes up a lot of space, especially the barns. But anyways, I've got 5 shelves. Most of them are full. I might end up getting another shelf over here, but I'm not certain. I don't really want my entire room to be taken over by Schleich. And because I know people are gonna ask, I currently have about 500 models. Some of them are not on display currently, and that includes Breyer, Schleich, and other brands. All right, guys, well, that's it for today's video. I'm sorry it was a little rushed and a little messy, but I wanted to get the collection tour out now because I know that it's gonna get even messier because I have a lot of videos to film. Thank you for watching. Please thumbs up if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already because I post new Schleich videos every single week. All right, bye guys.